One common mistake that podcast guests make is thinking that the more pitches they send, the better. They take a spray and pray approach, sending out mass pitches to just as many relevant-ish podcasts as possible. The hope is that by casting a wide net, at least a few shows will bite. But I'm here to tell you that this is just not an effective strategy. Sorry if you already knew that, but I just feel like I really need to drive it home because most hosts will just see right through a generic pitch and move it straight to the trash. They see a ton of pitches. The good news is that if you're a Rephonic customer, you can take a far more targeted and strategic approach. Let me show you how. So let's say you're trying to book guest spots for a neuroscientist specializing in how sleep impacts mental health. You could start by searching for episodes that mention terms like neuroscience, mental health, or sleep. Let's do a quick search for neuroscience. So we'll go to episodes, neuroscience, spelled it right, first time, hit search. So this is where Rephonic really comes into its own because you're not limited to mentions in the episode titles or show notes. This episode search checks the transcripts, so the actual conversation or speech, making it so much easier to identify relevant shows. You can also apply unique filters to zero in on the best opportunities. For example, you might want to target podcasts with more than 10,000 listeners that accept guests. So I can add those filters. I can go in to listeners, bump this up to 10,000 plus, go over to guests, only podcasts that accept guests. Boom. These kind of search filters save you time by narrowing down a broad list to the most relevant shows. Now, to increase your pitch's chances of success, it's important to pitch an angle that the show hasn't yet covered, either at all, or maybe they haven't covered it well enough. So I'll scroll down here, pick a show. Let's say something you should know. You can take this next step and search within that show's episodes for a keyword related to your or your client or colleague's area of expertise. So I'll come in here, we'll search the actual episodes, click on 986 episodes. Then I can search within the episodes. So for instance, I might search sleep. Narrows it down, right? Here I found over 100 episodes that have touched on the topic. But here's the key. Now make it even more specific by combining terms like sleep and mental health in your search using the quotation marks and the plus sign like I'm doing here. Here we found one episode that mentions both keywords but hasn't actually discussed the connection between the two or the science behind the relationship. It's talking about cars, so something completely different. This is your chance to pitch the podcast. You can suggest recording an episode that covers this gap in their content, showcasing you or whoever it is who's guesting as the expert who can explain how sleep and mental health are interconnected in a way that hasn't yet been explored on this show. So there you have it. How to use Rephonic's episode transcript search to easily identify real podcast guesting opportunities. This targeted approach will significantly improve your chances of boosting the number of yes replies you get, which is really what everyone wants, right? So give it a try and remember to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on more tips like this. Catch you next time.